All right, here's a quick update to the old 550,000 mile F150. A few people have asked about it. It hasn't got that many miles on it. A few updates though. The biggest one is the tires and the lift. It's got a 6-inch suspension lift. I use rough country 3-inch lift spindles, 3.5-inch in the Daystar coil spacers. No issues with any of that. All goes down the road straight. No alignment issues or anything crazy. I need to trim the valance so it stopped the rubbing. I did pull off the chrome grille surround and the black bumper pad for the color match versions. And of course changed the headlights and corners to, I think, just a little more classic style. The 04 amber and the clear headlight housing. Behind the grille you see some LEDs peeking out. That's a set from, I think, Nylite is the name of the company. They're floodlights. Paint's not faded or anything like that. I did change the windshield. No cracks, you know, pass inspection now. Got a couple scratches and dents. The bed cover that was on it, of course, went away in favor of a headache crack. And behind it, of course, it left some scratches. That's why I'm not a fan of these fiberglass bed covers. But you know, I guess they look good to some people. I also put in Super Duty rear tail lights. Of course, did the conversion for the reverse light, and a back bumper that's not destroyed. That's pretty much the big changes. The outside of the truck is more or less the same. No real changes. I don't do paint correction, ceramic coating, or anything like that. I mean, this truck, I mean, look right there. I mean, it's just, you know, not worth it really. It's just scratched up, beat up. It's a work truck. Still got the big dent in the door. I did fix the door handle. If y'all probably remember, the keyhole was messed up. Previous owner had a system and all that mess in this truck, and you know, he lived in an apartment complex, so you can guess what happened there. But anyway, I put a factory radio back in, fixed all that. Still got scratches here. The neighbor's dog, for whatever reason, kept jumping into bed of this truck, and there was nothing back there to attract him, which is really confusing. I don't throw food and junk in the bed of the truck. So he kept jumping back there, and when he did, he would scratch the tar out of the paint. So anyway, he since moved, dog moved with him. Life is good. The big changes for this truck mostly is on the interior. Oh, sorry, I forgot I left a key in. Let me stop that for you guys. First, biggest change, of course, the factory 60/40 split bench has gone away in favor of Navigator seats. Reupholstered the bottom here. The backs and the passenger side bottom are original. These are 20-year-old junkyard pulls from a '99 Navigator. The factory seats weren't power, but these are, and of course, wired up. They work really good, actually. The factory Navigator seats were heated. I took all that out. I could have hooked it up, but I just wanted to hurry up, get them in, and during the install, some of the wiring was messed up, so I just simplified it using Expedition parts. Dash hasn't changed much. Put in power pedals, so that required changing the bezel out to the Expedition bezel. If anybody has a F150 bezel with just the power and without the rear defroster, I'll gladly take that as a donation, but still trying to find one of those. So radio, of course, is the, wow, that's not good light metering, huh? Anyway, the radio is, of course, a single disc unit. I think that's out of an Escape or something. Instrument cluster has been changed out to a Navigator cluster, and that, of course, has led to the 500,000 miles reducing down to, let's see, 854. So, in the state of Texas, it's up to the seller to, of course, state that the odometer or whatever has been changed. And I have the form, which actually discontinued in 2011. They don't even require it no more. But I have a form filled out I keep with the title stating the odometer changed. The old cluster was pulled out at this many miles. The new cluster was put in, so that way we can keep track. They also make stickers you can put on the door, but you know, that could fall off. The paperwork trail, I think, is much better. So that way we document the mileage change. I think it's around 565,000 miles now. Door panels I've reupholstered. I use this synthetic suede style material and resprayed them with Color Bond interior paint. Sticks very well. Haven't had any issues. Got a little chip here when it was first still tacky, but since then I haven't had too many issues with it. So some of y'all probably remember how faded some of these parts were. So no changes on the back seat. Doors still open and close like they should. I've had a lot of issues with these cables breaking in these doors. Twice now I've had to replace stretched and just messed up cables with junkyard ones. So I think above a certain number of miles they just get to the point where you can't fix them even with the little metal ends. Headliner is still sagging. I actually have the material sitting inside to redo that. It just showed up yesterday, so that'll get redone. Sun visors have been changed over to the lighted dual position sun visors. I haven't hooked the wiring yet. I'm going to do that when I pull everything apart. So these are out of a Expedition, the dual position. Go around to the passenger side, let you take a look there. Not a lot of changes under the hood, mostly just repairs. New intake manifold, some coil packs, plugs, coolant flush, basic stuff like that. This is probably the biggest flaw on the inside, is right there, that tear in the seat. This seat was power originally, but I used some Expedition parts, the base and everything, to convert it to manual. No issues there. Let's see if this will work. Now, the Navigator seats, the way they're made, they only flip back. They don't flip forward. So there's a hinge in here that goes all the way right there that is specific to Navigators and Expeditions. F150s, because sometimes you need to get back here, they actually flip forward. So I swapped this over to an F150 hinge. All right, it is gonna work. Cool. Sometimes it's a little tricky to do one-handed, but yeah, now you have a Navigator seat that flips forward. So Navigator console, all this stuff bolted in, no modification required. The holes in the floor pan were already there for the console, and some people thread them, some people just let the bolt thread them. I let the bolt thread them in and work fine. No issues here. Bolt the seat in, bolted right up, no trouble at all. So that's an update to the 500,000 mile F150. Been running strong, runs great, can't complain a bit. Fires up every time. No problem at all there. I did change the exhaust. It was a turn down under the cab, some of y'all remember, and I just ran the pipe out the side, just make it a little more civil driving. But there you go. So it's only put on since the video, I think 10 or 15,000 miles maybe. When I do drive it, it's just 3 miles in town to work, so it's not like it piles on a ton even when I do drive it. So that's an update, and I appreciate you watching. Y'all have a good day.